Welcome back, everyone. Get ready to take a deep dive into something we all share: childhood memories.
Oh, childhood memories, huh?
Yeah, and to get us started, we're taking a look at this YouTube video. It's really interesting. It features people practicing conversational English.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, but what's really cool is how much they talk about their childhood.
Makes sense. It's a pretty universal topic, right?
Exactly. And a lot of them actually say childhood is like the best part of life. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think a big part of it is the simplicity. Like, as we get older, things just get more complicated, you know?
Yeah, totally. Like, I catch myself missing the days when my biggest worry was what game to play outside.
Exactly. And the video highlights this really well, actually. They talk about all these specific games and activities, and it's like pure joy.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Like building forts out of anything you could find: pillows, blankets, boxes.
Yes. Or the hours spent just playing with dolls lost in your own world.
Oh,
And the video also touches on this interesting contrast between growing up in a village versus growing up in a city.
oh, right. One of the speakers talks about their childhood in a village, swimming in the river with friends, playing games like marbles, and, especially during festivals, flying kites.
Yeah. You really get a sense of community and connection to nature from their stories.
Totally. It sounds idyllic.
It does. And then you have this other speaker who grew up in the city, and they talk about the hustle and bustle, late night conversations, and this constant feeling of possibility.
It's like two completely different worlds.
Right. But both holding a special place in their hearts.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fascinating how one of the speakers actually mentions feeling torn between the two.
Oh, you mean the peace of the village versus the energy of the city?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a
Yeah.
part of them that longs for both.
Yeah, I get that. Especially for anyone who's ever moved away from their childhood home. It's that pull between the familiar and the unknown.
Absolutely. And, one of the speakers describes village life so vividly, like you can practically smell the aroma of home-cooked food wafting through the air.
Oh, and the taste of fresh milk and curd straight from the farm.
Mm-hmm. And the coolness of the well water on a hot day.
And don't forget, sleeping under the stars on the terrace.
Like you're right there with them.
Totally. And within this idyllic setting, there's this strong emphasis on family, especially the bond with the grandfather.
Yes. The
Yeah.
grandfather is portrayed as this pillar of love and support, always there for them.
It makes you think about your own childhood, the relationships that shaped you.
Yeah. Who are the people that really made an impact on your early years?
What memories stick out the most? And, just as we're immersed in these warm feelings, the conversation takes a bit of a somber turn.
You're talking about the story of the grandfather's passing, yeah?
Yeah, it's like a cloud passes over the sun. And they describe it as this profound loss, a moment that really changed them.
It's a reminder that even in the midst of childhood joy, there's also fragility.
Right. And it makes you think about the bittersweet nature of memories. Like, how do we hold on to the people we've lost while still cherishing the present moment?
It's a powerful question, and one that I think we'll continue to explore.
Definitely. This is just the beginning of our deep dive, and there's so much more to uncover about the power of these memories.
Absolutely. So much more.
It's really fascinating how this conversation goes from like happy memories to some pretty deep stuff.
Totally. Like, it makes you realize that childhood isn't just about playing games, right? It's also about the relationships that shape us.
Yeah. And that story about the grandfather passing away really hit me. It shows how even the tough moments can really stick with us.
It's true. And one of the speakers even talks about how easy it is to take our loved ones for granted until something like that happens.
Right. Like they even say they wish they could go back and appreciate those simple moments more, before life got so complicated.
And they talk about specific things they'd want to relive, like waking up to the smell of pancakes.
Yes. And they even talk about how back then it felt like they had dreams in their pockets, like anything was possible.
I know, it's almost like you can feel that carefree energy just listening to them.
Right. And then the conversation gets even more personal, more vulnerable. The speaker starts talking about this one specific memory.
One about his grandfather, right?
Yeah. Like he describes him as the rock of the family, always telling stories, making everyone laugh.
You can tell how much he loved him.
And then he talks about how his grandfather got sick. The doctors didn't have good news. You can feel the fear and uncertainty in his voice.
Oh, man. It's heartbreaking.
And then he shows something incredible. When his grandfather passed away, he felt his presence.
Wow. Like, not physically, right? More like a feeling.
Exactly. He describes it as like a whisper in the wind.
It's so beautiful and sad at the same time.
It is. And it really shows how love and connection can last even after someone's gone, like their legacy lives on.
Yeah, it makes you realize that even though his grandfather's gone, the things that made him special, his values, his love, those things are still there.
Exactly. And the speaker talks about how this experience changed his whole outlook on life.
Like how it's so easy to forget to appreciate our loved ones when we're busy with everything else.
Right. And I think that's a really important message for all of us to be present, to appreciate the people we love while we can.
Absolutely. This conversation is like a gentle reminder to make the most of our time.
It is. It's about recognizing that life is precious, but also that memories and connections can last a lifetime.
Wow. It's amazing how we started with a video about learning English and ended up talking about such deep stuff.
It really is, huh? But it kind of shows how these big life experiences, they're universal.
Totally. We might speak different languages, come from different places, but those connections, that love, it's something we all understand.
Yeah. And it brings us back to that question, right? Why do so many people say childhood is the best time?
Right. Like, what is it about that time that makes it so special?
Well, maybe it's the pure joy, that feeling of freedom to just explore, to dream, to just be before all the adult stuff weighs us down.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's those strong connections we form early on, with our family, our friends, before life pulls us in different directions.
I think that's a big part of it, for sure. That sense of belonging, of being loved unconditionally, it's something we all need.
Absolutely. And even though things change, we grow up, those early experiences, those relationships, they stay with us.
They become a part of who we are, right? They shape how we see the world, how we treat others, how we handle the tough times.
I think so. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question for you and for everyone listening. If you could go back to one specific childhood memory, which would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. And as you think about that, remember what we've learned from these speakers. Hold on to those simple joys. Cherish the people you love. And treasure those memories because they truly are what make us who we are.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep those memories close.